bang, man.
I want to do that, man.
Let me bang, bro.
I do.
I do. Let me bang,
I
man.
do let you bang. Hey,
Let me bang again, man.
I'll let you bang. I'll let you bang.
What's up, folks? This is Combat Sports Talk with your boy Onan Kafar, and the title of this video is called UFC versus Bellator is like the WWE versus TNA wrestling, or as they call it now, if they're still around, Impact Wrestling. TNA stood for Total Nonstop Action. But anyway, I'm gonna go start off with the UFC first. Anyway, the UFC is the MMA equivalent to WWE. What I mean by that is that they have the best talent. They're the company that everybody wants to get to. That's the dream company. Everybody that almost everybody that does MMA wants to make it to the UFC, and almost everybody that wrestles wants to make it to WWE because that is the grand stage and everything. I mean, that's about it with the UFC. I'm really trying to dig in on Bellator, really, because Bellator has let me down over the years. Bellator grabs up not all of them, but a lot of the UFC's old talent, just like TNA grabbed up a lot of the old WWE talent. And on top of that, TNA was getting Bellator fighters to go wrestle on their show. Isn't that ironic? That's crazy. That's a resemblance right there. The Bellator, what's his name? Scott Coker grabs up all the old UFC talent, just like just like TNA grabs up WWE. And what they don't understand is that these UFC fighters that's at Bellator, majority of them will always be remembered as UFC fighters, just like if WWE wrestlers go to TNA, they will always be remembered as a WWE wrestler. All right. But look at all these people that went from UFC to Bellator. You got Tito Ortiz, you got Rampage, you got Roy Nelson, you got Ryan Bader, you got Chael Sonnen, you got Benson Henderson, Matt Mitrione, Frank Mir, Roy McDonald. Roy McDonald's pretty good. Phil Davis, Jagar Musasi, and Wanderlei Silva. I mean, it's probably a few more that went over there, but that just shows you how much Bellator would try to grab some of the UFC star power to come over there, but it just doesn't work. A lot of these people is out of their prime, and like the nostalgia is gone. It's new top fighters at UFC, and just because you grab up an old over the prime fighter does not mean that you're gonna be able to compete with the UFC. And another thing that Bellator likes to do, they like to have gimmick matches. I call them gimmick matches, but more like celebrity matches or nostalgia matches, such as, and rest in peace for Kimbo Slice because he's in 2 of these. You got Kimbo Slice versus Dada 5000. Then you got Kimbo Slice versus Ken Shamrock. You got Ken Shamrock versus Royce or Horace Gracie. You got Chael Sonnen versus Wanderlei Silva. You got Rampage Jackson versus Wanderlei Silva. Come on, man. Like, that makes no money to me. That makes absolutely no money. Like, Chael Sonnen, he's a great talker, but he's an alright fighter, but he's never been the top dog. Rampage is beyond past his freaking prime. So is Wanderlei Silva. Shamrock is past his prime, and so is Gracie. I don't believe Slice and Dada should have been fighting at all. and that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. And another thing about Bellator is that some of the guys that was at the UFC that never won a UFC title wins a Bellator title. One person comes to mind is Ryan Dark Bader. I don't believe he was ever in a UFC title match that I can remember. He never won the gold. I don't even think he was never even close to getting there. But he goes over to Bellator and wins the light heavyweight championship, which might shows you the kind of competition that Bellator has in the light heavyweight division. Now he's going to fight Fedor. He's going to fight Fedor for the heavyweight champion in Bellator. Come on, man. Come on. And I think they got pretty weak. Their upper divisions probably are pretty weak. They're light heavyweight and heavyweight. I think the lower divisions are all right, but like their heavyweight division. Look who was in the heavyweight Grand Prix. You got Fedor, Frank Mir, Chael Sonnen, Rampage, Matt Mitrione, and Ryan Bader. These are the top heavyweights in Bellator. You got an over-the-hill Frank Mir, an over-the-hill Chael Sonnen, an over-the-hill Rampage. You got a mediocre Mitrione, and you got an all-right Bader. That was in his heavyweight Grand Prix. And I just feel that Fedor need to go ahead and get tested in the UFC. He does, to see how good he really is. I know he was at Pride and everything, but I'm gonna do another video about how good Fedor really is. But I believe he need to get tested in the UFC. Because he never went, and even Crow Cop went to UFC, didn't fare too well, but he went to the UFC and got tested. He got knocked out, but at least he went to see where he was at. So I don't know what's going on with Bellator. They're the B level MMA. I'm not taking anything away for the mixed martial artists that go there, but honestly, it's like right now it looks like that UFC has the better talent and they have the better competition. Even though there's a bunch of bull crap going on in the UFC, just like the WWE, how they promote their people, and Dana White have personal issues with his stars, just like Vince McMahon have with his, and it, I guess that goes with being the mega conglomerate, or being the when you franchise the stuff out, you franchise something. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is going to take down WWE. Nothing's going to take down the UFC. And that's just it. But Bellator, get your own. Stop getting these over-the-hill UFC fighters to try to steal some of that UFC power, because you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. It's just sad. I mean, and I try to watch Bellator, but I just can't. Especially those higher weight classes. I can't. It sucks. Come on. Frank Mir over the hill. Chael Sonnen over the hill. Rampage over the hill. Mitrione mediocre. Bader, he alright. You got over the hill Roy Nelson. You got Benson Henderson. He's straight. I like Benson Henderson. And Roy McDonald, he's pretty good though. I ain't gonna front on Roy McDonald, and Musashi good, but Wanderlei Silva over the hill, the axe murderer. Not no more, buddy. Not no more. But yeah, these are the reasons why I think that Bellator is like TNA. And also it's like how Bader when Bader went over to the Bellator and won a light heavyweight championship, right? It reminds me of a NBA player that goes overseas. A mediocre NBA player that was good, but not a top star. Then they end up going overseas and becoming that foreign country top star. That's what but that's what Bellator does for mediocre or UFC fighters that was good or just not good enough. That's what Bellator does for them. It makes them good enough, because of the competition. Because Ryan Bader's not beating John Jones. He's not beating what's the other boy? The boy that John Jones just fought. I forgot his doggone name. I can't believe it. But anyway, it'll come back. I just did a video about it too. But anyway, he's not gonna beat none of these guys. I mean, like, he's not. He's not. So it's really nothing else I got to say about it. The UFC is like WWE. The Bellator is like TNA, Impact Wrestling. That's what it is. So y'all go ahead and leave me your thoughts. And what do y'all think about Bellator? Do y'all think it's like the TNA? You know what I'm saying? Do you think Bellator is the MMA TNA or whatever? Do you think it's not? Do you like Bellator? Do you think Bellator could ever overtake the UFC? I really doubt it. But anyway, this is it. Alright. This is Combat Sports Talk with your boy Onan Kafa. Keep banging.
Let me bang, man.
I want to do that, man.
Let me bang, bro.
I do.
I do. Let me bang,
I
man.
do let you bang. Hey,
Let me bang again, man.
I let you bang. I let you bang.